Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oyinka, and if it's your first time stopping by, you darling, I'm most definitely welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys the basic makeup tools for beginners. I used all those tools to achieve this makeup look, and I'm talking about the brushes that we use because I know that it can be a bit confusing for beginners. There are so many brushes and then you don't know which one to buy or which brush serves which purpose. So that was why I decided to make this video, because I know that when I first started learning makeup, I was super confused about the brushes and I wanted to simplify it and demystify the brushes for you guys as much as possible. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, please keep on watching. Now, you don't need to buy expensive brushes, you don't need to buy branded brushes. The most important thing for you to do is to get brushes that are good quality. Is it soft? Do the bristles shed? Those are the most important things that you need to do when you are looking out get a good brush set. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button down below to join this family and share this video with everyone who cares to watch it. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay guys, so I'm not going to be focusing on the products that we're going to use to achieve this look. I'm just trying to put my hair away so it doesn't get in the way of our makeup. I'm mostly going to be focusing on the tools because I remember when I first started my makeup journey, I used to be super confused about the tools because they don't seem like a lot of brushes really. So I was like super confused, and I would have really appreciated a video like this, which is why I decided to make this video, because I know that if I was confused, definitely there are one or two people out there who would also be facing the challenges I had when I first started. So I'm going to start off by moisturizing my face. I'm going to use my hands for moisturizing, and I'm going to tell you this: your hands are a really important blending tool in makeup application. You don't always have to use a brush. You can use your hands, just like I'm using my hands to put the moisturizer all over my face at this point. You can always use your hands. It doesn't have to be a makeup brush, I promise you. But next I'm going to move on to primer, and I'm still using my hands to apply my primer. At this point, the next thing will be foundation application, and there are two types of foundation brushes. We have the buffer brush. This is usually a flat topped brush like this. I'm sure you guys can see it. Excuse the fact that this has a flyover here, but I just washed the brushes, so it's a little out of shape. But yeah, it's flat topped like this and very dense essentially, while the other type is just a regular foundation brush, and this is what it looks like. So these are the two types of foundation brushes that most people would use to apply their foundation. I personally like to use this over this. I don't know why. I just feel like this is a bit quicker. Maybe that's the reason, I'm not sure. So this is what I'm going to be using to apply my foundation today. So with your foundation application, you want to press the foundation into your skin like so, instead of swiping it on your skin. Can you see what I'm doing there? I'm just basically pressing the foundation into my skin, and it just helps your makeup to like sit better than swiping, because once you start to swipe, then you tend to leave streaks on your face, and streaks make your makeup application less professional looking and more amateur looking, and we know that we all want flawless makeup. So next I'm going to use this flat brush, and this is what I'm going to use to apply concealer all over my face. I like to use this to first of all spread the product on my face before I go ahead with my beauty sponge to blend the product. Then I'll go ahead to press. Do you see how I'm doing this? I'm literally pressing the concealer down. With makeup application, you really want to avoid swiping, especially for your skin work, so that it is as flawless as possible. So I'm using that flat brush to just press the product down into my skin. Then I'm going to go in with my beauty sponge, and this is a damp beauty sponge, and I'm going to use that to blend my concealer. Now, I should mention at this point, it doesn't really matter the brushes that you use. Almost all the brushes I use are nameless brushes. They're just random brushes that I bought. The most important thing to look for when trying to buy a brush is that the brush is soft and that the brush does not shed, because you don't want a situation where you are applying your makeup and then half of your face has brush hairs all over. No, you don't want that. You want your brush to be as soft as possible, because that way it would help your makeup sit better on your skin. So don't really worry about what brushes I'm using, because to be honest, the brushes I am using are inconsequential. Now that we are done blending, I'm going to set my face, and I'm still going to use the same beauty sponge that I used before to set my face. I should mention, if you're not really a brush person, you can use a beauty sponge to apply your entire face. You don't actually have to use a brush, but I just find that if you use a brush first and then you go over it with a beauty blender, it looks more seamless. It looks more like skin, and it looks more, I don't know, your face just looks more healthy. So yeah, so I'm gonna go over that with my beauty sponge again, and then proceed to set the under eye and all the areas of my face that I applied some concealer to. So the next tool that you need is your spoolie, and this one has a brow pencil at the end. Some brow pencils come with spoolies, doesn't really matter, you can use any spoolie of your choice, but this is the one I like to use, or this is the one I'm going to be using today. So you just need a spoolie to brush your brow hairs and to aid with your drawing process, basically. Yeah, so I should mention I have a very detailed eyebrow tutorial. If you really want to know all the steps that I'm doing to achieve my eyebrow look, then please, I'm going to leave the detailed eyebrow tutorial up in the cards or down in the description box so that you can click that link to watch the eyebrow tutorial. It is very detailed, and I promise you that you would be a pro at the end of watching that tutorial. So this is the point that I'm going to use the spoolie to just brush in all the brow products that I've applied after I have finished applying it, just to like help to blend that brow product into your brows and remove all harsh lines. That's the function of the spoolie. You want to use it to blend all the products into your brows and remove harsh lines. Now that that is done, I'm going to use this small flat brush, and I'm going to use that to apply the concealer underneath my brows. You can use an angled brush if you want. This is an angled brush. You can use either a flat brush if you want, or an angled brush. Doesn't really matter, as long as they are both like slim at the top. That's the most important thing, so that it can give you precision. So you want to start by coating your brush in some concealer like this. Just coat it round so that it absorbs the concealer and then has a flat end, and then you then apply it onto the lower border of your brows. So using that same flat brush that we used to apply the concealer, I'm going to blend all that concealer into my skin. The next tool we'll be needing is a fluffy blending brush, and the way to know a fluffy blending brush is it's usually not as dense. This is another type of fluffy blending brush. I've had this one for the longest time, I would say since around 2014. You want to use that for your transition color to kind of like diffuse the eyeshadow around the transition area. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Like I said, if you want to know how I achieve my brows, I have a very detailed eyebrow tutorial. I'm going to link it up in the card so you guys can definitely check it out. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my transition color, and I'm just using an orange shade for my transition. Watch how I'm applying this. I'm first of all tapping the product on the outer corner of my eye, and I'm doing this really to concentrate the most of the product there, because you want it to have like a gradient effect, and if you concentrate the most of the product on the inner corner, your eye will look like you were punched. So you want to concentrate most of it outside and then fade it inwards like so. I'm then using a winged swipe motion to fade the rest of the product inwards. The next shade I'm going to take is this burgundy shade right here, and I'm just going to apply that right underneath the first color that I put, and I'm still using the same fluffy blending brush, but this time I'm just bringing it a bit lower. Next, I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. This one is like the other one that we were using before, but instead of it to be like bigger, it's literally more tapered. This brush is clean, by the way. It's just stained from eyeshadow because I've had it for literally the longest time and it's been doing me well, so I don't feel the need to change it. But anyways, I'm going to take this purple eyeshadow right here, and I'm just gonna put that at the outer corner of my eye, right on my lid, like so. And I'm using a fluffy brush for this because I want it to be very diffused. I don't want the colors to be too packed. I just want a diffused shadow basically. And I'm going to just drag it a bit inwards this time around. Then I'm going to go in with the first brush that we used, this time without any product, and I'm just going to blend that all over. Next, I'm going to go in, still using that same small fluffy brush that we used to apply the purple shade. I'm going to apply some black shadow on that outer corner just to deepen it a little bit more. So far so good. We have used just 2 brushes for our eyeshadow. I want you guys to know that you really don't need too many brushes. Most important thing is to know how to use what you have. I'm gonna go in again with that first brush and just blend out the edges of that black shadow that we applied so that it marries into the purple shadow that was there before. At this point, I'm going to take a small eyeshadow brush and I'm going to use that to apply my eyeshadow basically. So I'm just going to use that all over to apply the eyeshadow. If you don't have an eyeshadow brush, you can always use your finger to just do this, and sometimes the finger even works better. At this point, the next thing will be to take a slim brush like this, and I'm going to use that to apply my winged liner. So guys, I went ahead to do my lashes off camera just because, I mean, I don't use any tools for that. I just use my hands and I literally just place the lash glue on the lash band and apply it on my eyes. That's literally all I do. So the next tool we'll be needing is a fluffy powder brush. You can see how big this powder brush is. That is what we're going to be using. Next, I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush and I'm going to use that to apply my contour shade on my cheeks like so. And I'm just going to apply that around my face to all the areas that you would normally contour. For my nose contour, I'm just going to be using this shader brush. You can see that it is angled kind of. That's what I'm going to be using. It's like a shader brush. It's like an eyeshadow brush, but it's angled, so maybe we can call it like an angled eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to say that I have a very detailed nose contour video on this channel, so if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. I promise you'll be a guru at contouring your nose after you are done watching that video. It is so explanatory, like so super explanatory. To apply blush, I'm going to use the same brush I used to apply my contour, and I'm just going to apply the blush at the highest point on my cheeks like you would normally do. I'm using a purple blush just because I'm feeling the whole purple eyeshadow look that we have going on. So for my lips today, I'm just going to use the applicators that the lipsticks come with. To apply my highlights, I'm going to be using this fan brush because it's like, it helps to diffuse all the product and product doesn't just sit in one spot. And for the tip of my nose, I like to use my finger. So guys, that is it for this look. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you feel more confident knowing what type of brushes to use for your makeup looks moving forward. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button down below to join this family, and share this video with everyone who cares to watch it. And thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.